Welcome. In today's video, I'd like to talk about bobbins. Bobbins are a crucial piece of a fly tyer's bench. It's what holds our thread and allows us to wind the thread onto the hook and create flies. There are a couple different things that I look for in a good bobbin. Overall, just whether it's easy to use or not is a factor. How well you can control the thread tension is a major factor for me. I'm not very good at some of the older ones where they're a little more squeeze or spring loaded. Those are a little more difficult for me to use. I've never really been good at those ones. I prefer something where I can dial up my tension a little bit and change it. The other thing I look for is how well it fits in my hand, the overall weight of that bobbin, and the overall length. I find that if you have something that's too long or heavy, it can be a little more difficult to tie with. I've been tying with the Rite bobbin, that's this one, for quite a few years. I prefer this bobbin because it allows me to adjust the tension using that kind of wing nut there. It also is fairly easy for me to switch out threads. While I have several bobbins on my bench, I still have to switch out threads every once in a while. Most of these dial attention bobbins have this one's hexagon. It fits in, this hexagon piece fits inside of it. And if set correctly, that piece won't move. So when you put your thread in there, your thread and stuff has to be in such a position that when you tighten it, that black piece for me won't move. That helps me create my tension. The new Loon Ergo dial-in bobbin has the same kind of locking system, except there's a square. Theirs is quite a bit heavier metal, so that is a bonus. So a couple things about the Rite bobbin. This is the one I prefer. I would give this probably like a 9, 8.5, 9 out of 10. There are tons of bobbins on the market. I haven't used them all. So this basically review only has to do with the Rite bobbin and the Loon. The nice thing about this bobbin is it's small. It fits in my hand nicely. I like to take this piece and put it in my palm, and then I can take my hand and squeeze it on my bobbin as I tie. That helps me to micro adjust the tension. The Rite bobbin also comes in a different size. So this is the micro and the standard. So the micro standard. That is nice because certain flies, it's nice to be a little more delicate and close to your work. The longer bobbin or the standard bobbin works really good on larger flies or streamers. Next we have the Loon Ergo dial-in bobbin. This bobbin is quite a bit even larger than the standard bobbin. And the problem with that is if I've got a vise, so I've got a vise like so, it can create where I don't have a lot of space between my fly and the end of my bobbin. The one thing I really like about this bobbin though is it does fit nicely in my hand. It is designed to basically ergonomically correct to hold. I can still create pressure using my hands. It took me a little while to figure out the tension on it, but once I did, that was a piece of cake. Because it is quite a bit longer, you do need to make sure you have a bobbin threader that allows you to thread that long bobbin. This bobbin I've found is really nice for big flies, so if I'm using larger thread or tying those streamers, this one's really nice because when it hangs, it creates a lot of tension. So if I'm spinning deer hair or anything like that where I want my bobbin to hold down and create tension on my materials, this one's great. These Rite bobbins are quite a bit lighter, so sometimes they do not create as much thread tension. This one has very limited moving parts. This one has some things that can come off, move around. Overall, this one's a lot sturdier, so it should last quite a bit longer. Although I've had this one probably for 4 or 5 years, and it suits me just fine. I probably have 7 or 8 of these. I keep threaded up in different colors on my fly tying bench, and over the years. But I saw this one. I thought I'd give it a try. The one thing I would love to see them do is make a shorter one. I do like the heaviness of it if I'm tying larger flies. Overall, I would probably give the Loon about a 7 out of 10 and the Rite Bobbins about 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Each one has some little flaws that I would change if I was going to create one. Again, there's lots of bobbins on the market. This is just happens to be two different bobbins that I've used. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you have any different bobbins that you think I should try, go ahead and feel free to leave me a comment. As always, like and subscribe if you like this content, so that I can get more content going. Have a great day. I hope this helps you in your journey.